Got some jams on my fantasy playlist. October 12, 1991. Just played Vanessa Williams at number 34. At number 33, up 5 notches from 38. Two Live Crew. Pop that coochie. Talk about some jams right there. Two Live Crew led by, I always forget his real name, Luther Campbell, otherwise known as aka Luke Skywalker. They started out in the mid 80s. There was a DJ and there were two rappers. They put out a record called Revelation in 1985. Revelation got big in Florida. Two Live Crew, they relocated to Miami. They added another rapper. They put out another joint called What I Like. Luther Campbell, Luke, aka Luke Skywalker, comes into the picture. He gets Two Live Crew a record deal. He becomes their manager, and he eventually becomes their lead singer. Debut album came out in 1986. It was sexually explicit. It was going over the top. Even by today's standards, it was pretty risque. Second album, Move Something, that was in 1988. And then 1989, As Nasty as They Want to Be. Oh boy. Me So Horny. A fantastic, infectious dance record. But the top 40 stations would not touch it. It was radioactive. Ooh, if they played that, the explicit version on the air, the complaints they would have gotten from the parents, from the older folks, and there was a lot of people who came down hard on this album. A U.S. District Court ruled that the album was obscene and it was illegal to sell the album. 2 days later, a retailer in Florida, I believe, it might have been in Alabama, was busted for selling the album to an undercover cop. 3 members of Two Live Crew themselves, they were busted for performing the album, As Nasty as They Want to Be, at a nightclub in Florida. But all that got overturned. A U.S. a U.S. Court of Appeals overturned the original court ruling. 6th album, Sports Weekend, As Nasty as They Want to Be Part 2, featuring Pop That Coochie. And that went up to number 58 on Billboard's Hot 100. Again, this is just one song. The FM stations, the top 40 stations, they were not going to touch this. They were not going to fool with this at all. And it was a big rap hit, though. And this was the last album that featured all the original members of Two Live Crew. Later on, Luther Campbell, let me make sure I got his name right. Luther Campbell became a newspaper columnist in a Miami newspaper. Later on, he ran for mayor in Miami later on in the early 2010s, or maybe it was in the 2000s. And you're not going to believe this. Just found this out this year in 2014. Campbell tweeted that he would be defensive coordinator for the Miami Norland Senior High School. So best of wishes to Luther Campbell as he pursues a different career path. And football, one of my favorite sports. Two Live Crew will Pop That Coochie at number 33.